Finally, the French troops from Niger are to begin to withdraw from Niger. Hello, I am Mahlet Ayele, your host at Connect Africa, bringing you the latest from Niger and the region. Yeah, so please tune in. So, as we all recall, on September 24, President Macron announced on a national television, meaning a French national television, that its ambassador and French troops will withdraw from Niger. Now, the French ambassador has been flown to Paris. Now, this is the second action, meaning to start to withdraw their troops. They said that by the end of the year, there was no time frame that was given from the French government. But today, according to the French minister, the armed forces minister, we have been told that the French troops, the first batch of French troops will start to withdraw this week. Some sources are saying maybe even today on Thursday, but definitely this week. So how much of will be these French troops will be withdrawn? What is the next step? That's something that we are going to look at as you tune in here. Let's share the news that has been came out, the article from the Radio France, the RFI, Radio France International. Here is what the armed force minister, meaning the defense minister, in other words, said the withdrawal of troops and military equipment begins this week. The armed forces ministry said in a statement confirming that exit should be complete by the end of the year. But remember that the military government of Niger was not happy that when on September 24, President Macron announced that until the end of the year, all the troops will be withdrawn. They wanted strictly in their own terms, meaning the government of Niger wants it to be done in their own terms, not according to the French government. So this came, maybe it's something that has been arranged behind the door, but this came out today. Now, another thing, what he said is coordination. This meaning the defense minister, or as they call it, the armed forces minister, coordination with Nigerian army is essential to the operation success. All measures have been taken to ensure that the movements proceed in good order and security. So that's what the French minister said. No, now just to give you a background, there are two bases actually in France. In Niger, there are two military bases of French troops. One is in Aluyu. It's like 400 of them. The other one is in the capital in Niamey, where it is there. They have also an airbase. Let me just share some slides with you. Now, so this is okay. Niger, actually, it's in three places. There is Ulam, Niamey, and then Ayoru. As you can see, there are three places of it in Niger alone. Now the step is to bring there are like 400 of them in here, Ayuru and Ulam, in this place, in this base, and they're gonna bring them to the capital in Niamey, where also there is, in total, there are about 1,500 French troops are present in Niger. So they're going to bring them in Niamey, which is around 400 of them from this place, from Ayuru and Ulam. And then from Niamey, that's where they will go to France. Now, the question is, are they really going to France? Because there is a lot of things, as we hear on one hand, France or President Macron announcing that the withdrawal of the French troops and its ambassador. On the other hand, we have been seeing on, parallelly also the arrival of French troops in the neighboring countries, meaning the member of ECOWAS countries, you remember, where there was a military intervention, was put, if not, they don't reinstate that ousted Mohamed Bazoum, the ousted president. So these countries were Benin, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, and Senegal. And Ghana wasn't clear. Now, in these countries, the French government has added, there are more troops that have landed, as if it is not enough what is present already. I mean, in all ex-French colony countries, there are French troops, okay, as if that is not enough. Now, the French have flown their troops more amid the standoff between Niger and France. They have flown more troops to arrive, which they have arrived already in Ivory Coast, Benin, Senegal, Togo, all these countries who are in the forefront to contribute forces to intervene militarily in Niger. So that is the situation. You are saying something on one hand, and on the other hand, there are also you're bringing more troops. What does that mean? Are they really going to be flown out of Niger or out of Africa? We doubt that. Look at now. This is the Aluyu and Ulama. Maybe I'm not pronouncing it good. This is the base of Aluyu and Ulama. This is also that military base in Niger. Now, this is Niamey, actually. It's an interesting picture. As you can see, this was when for continuous, a month and so for like 5-6 weeks, Nigerians, the people of Niger, have been protesting in front of the French embassy in Niamey and in front of the military base, the French military base in Niamey. So this is one of it. Now, the picture is not showing, but there are protesters, and these are the Niger military there. What you see, the gate is the military base of the French military base gate. Now, these are in the middle. There are Nigerian militaries who are, guarding for no clash or conflict to happen between the protesters and then the people, the military, the French troops there who are closed and, kept in their own camps. Now, but of course, in a foreign land. And these militaries, they are far over there, but it was on a Friday and they are praying there, they are doing their salat, and these are, guarding for no clash, for no conflict to happen, which is really kudos to them. They have done really a good job. Now, so this is that military base. The thing is, all the ECOWAS member, I think all of them, they have French military base, except Mali and Burkina Faso, as you know, their relation with France, because they have kicked these troops. And then Niger, Mohamed Bazoum has welcomed them. So it was kind of a regional hub, what they have in Niamey. Okay, so now, but the surrounding is, even now, Niger has with 4 or 5 countries of ECOWAS members share borders. Now, this is Chad. Don't think that this is in a different countries. This is in Chad alone. They have 9 military bases. I mean, people, we are living in no man's land. A foreign military have 9 bases in Chad. Only French troops. I mean, what name you can give this except colonization? 9 French military bases. It's just incredible. It's beyond mind what is going on, what has been done by our own leaders. So why I brought this picture is that the speculation is that maybe this French military will be, or troops will be driven to Chad. So as you know, in terms of these troops evacuation, French troops evacuation from Niger has blocked its airspace specifically only for France. Neither commercial flight is allowed to fly over Niger, nor military planes. So no French aircraft is allowed to fly over Niger airspace. So for that matter, what's going to be is it's most likely their evacuation, not most likely. I mean, it's it's a fact because Niger is also a landlocked country, so they cannot be shipped. So what they have to be driven. So they are going to go. They are not going to be driven all the way to Paris, of course. So their next stop should be a next ECOWAS member, French colony country. So it could be France. I mean, it could be Chad. It could be Benin, as you know, Benin also recently, I told you, 4 countries have received French militaries amid the standoff between Niger and France. So these are Ivory Coast, Benin, Senegal, and Togo. So as a result of that, the Niger government has cut its ties. This is a spokesperson announcing it, has cut or stopped their military agreements with Benin, and they have also sent their military to the border of Benin because Benin has allowed, that is really violating the military agreement between Niger. When you have military agreement, you kind of defend each other from a foreign invader, but that has been breached by Benin. So this is why Niger is forced to stop that agreement and bring its military close to the border of Benin. Now, if you look at, okay, this is Niger. It's a landlocked country. Over here on the south, you see Nigeria. There is Chad. There is Mali here, Burkina Faso, Benin over here, Algeria, Libya. Actually, I mean, 6 countries or so are sharing border with Niger. So that is the thing. Now, this morning, another disturbing news that what we have heard is that there is a warship that has arrived in Ivory Coast. Okay, you remember I told you more French troops have arrived in these countries. Now, Ivory Coast, whose president Ouattara has come to power, by the way, with a coup. It's an election, but in other words, it's a coup. He came to power through the help of these French troops and the French government. What we call it a silent coup, where the collective West brings their own puppet in the name of election and in the name of democracy. Okay, that's why we have to question this democracy in Africa. Now, in Ivory Coast, this morning, a warship has arrived. I will share with you a video. I mean, 11 months ago, October 2022, on October 28th, a warship has arrived in Ivory Coast. That was amid the standoff between France and Burkina Faso at that time, before the troops were kicked out. Okay, look at how these neighboring countries are acting when one country, a neighboring country, is African country, is fighting to throw away for once and for all the neo-colonialism from its territory. Another one now welcoming and backstabbing. This is how we are. So Ivory Coast has done the same thing during the standoff between France and Burkina Faso. Now it is the same thing that's being done, amid the standoff between Niger and France. Now I'm going to share that video with you, and you will see how you will judge how really we are. We are not a brother keeper. I mean, are we? Is this an African country? You doubt it. Just allow me to share that in a minute. Just to help you chronologically, I will share with you first first the second, I mean, what we heard this morning, the second warship arriving in Ivory Coast, and then I will let you here watch when the first warship arrived also in Ivory Coast. Now, this is it was shared by one, a trader, an ordinary person who happened to be around the port of Ivory Coast at this time in Abidjan. So this is what he's talking. It's in local language, some of it, so that you can hear. And then there is an English speaking person.
Armée France à la haute. Armée France à la haute. Côte d'Ivoire.
Another French warship has been spotted docking in the harbor of Ivory Coast, a few weeks after Benin gave a green light for another French warship to dock at their sea. Previously, Niger had accused France of planning to attack the country following the coup that ousted President Bazoum. This makes Côte d'Ivoire the second African country to host a French warship, in preparation for an attack of a fellow African country. Previously, Benin had been in the spotlight as its leader had pledged to support a French-controlled ECOWAS towards the invasion of Niger should it come to pass. This prompted the Beninese people to protest and demand the resignation of President Patrice Talon. Both Benin and Côte d'Ivoire have access to the sea and borders to the countries the French target, making these two countries strategic points for the French to attack one or all of the following countries: Niger, Burkina Faso, Guinea, and Mali, all of which have had coups, deposed a French puppet, and are on the verge of having a fallout with France. Going by history and antecedents, France is known to always find a way to get back at the countries that summon courage to kick them out. It's for this reason the three West African countries are joining arms in readiness for any aggression from their former colonial power in the West African bloc, ECOWAS.
Yeah, so you have heard, I'm sharing that. Now, the first warship, when it arrived in Ivory Coast, this is 11 months ago on October 28th, this month exactly, but on the 28th in 2022. I just want to share with you how, the maritime, the head of the marine or the commander of the marine came out of the Ivorian, and, what kind of speech he's making. It's how disgraceful in front of the African people, for Africa. I'll just share it with you, and you'll see. Yeah, it's
Ivory Coast has received one of France's largest warships, currently deployed to
sorry. Okay, yeah.
the Gulf of Guinea on a mission to fight illegal fishing, drug trafficking, and piracy. The ship arrived at commercial capital Abidjan Thursday with a detachment of 300 troops. Ivory Coast has received one of France's largest warships, currently deployed to the Gulf of Guinea on a mission to fight illegal fishing, drug trafficking, and piracy. The ship arrived at commercial capital Abidjan Thursday with a detachment of 300 troops, 60 vehicles, and currently 2 helicopters aboard. The permanent presence of French warships in the Gulf of Guinea alongside the coastal countries allows us to give a collective response to maritime threats, which are complex and cross international borders. The soldiers will join training with other French troops based in the region to learn from their Ivorian counterparts, according to the commander of the ship. France, alongside Ivory Coast, Morocco, and Senegal, have been increasing naval cooperation.
Okay, so yeah, you have seen what the commander of the Marine said there. What are you doing with all those soldiers and military vehicles and helicopters in a sovereign land, you know? And how come that an African government allows such a thing? It's for me, I can't even fathom it. It's crazy, and we are saying France this and that. I mean, it's our own leaders who are facilitating and inviting and welcoming all these neo-colonial acts. It's like we don't know anything. I'm not sure how many even Ivorians know the danger of it. I mean, to what extent this means to the security and sovereignty of the country, let alone another person from the continents. Yeah, so in any case, I want to end it. So whether France is going to really they are going to, of course, they have to be driven. It should be overland, their evacuation. It will be Chad or Benin. We don't know from where they are going to fly. But what we know is the Niger government do not allow any French aircraft over its airspace, in its airspace. That's what we know, and for that reason their evacuation should be through over the land. But of course, are they really going to back to France? Are they going to join the one who came in, the new arrival of French troops in the neighboring countries like Togo, Benin, Ivory Coast? And then no one knows at this point what the plan, what France is planning, if it is done, if it is really done with Niger. I don't think so. They have still business to protect. They have still interest in the region. They say they are fighting terrorists. What terrorists? I mean, what terrorism? The number of terrorist attacks have been grown ever since their presence have been increased in the region. That's what we know for fact. So we don't know the plan of France, but this is what they have announced. And so far, we haven't heard or read any official statement from the government of Niger. So that is something we are waiting. But thank you for tuning in. I will see you on the next one. So for now, it's a bye-bye for me. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in, all of you, really.